What's happening? Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. It's time for player ratings after Rangers 1, Celtic 2 at Ibrox. What a performance. What a massive 3 points for us. I thought the team were brilliant after that difficult first 5 minutes. Got back into the game, controlled it, and deservedly won it in the end. We'll start in goals, as we always do, with player ratings. And Joe Hart, every time I've done player ratings in recent weeks, I've said he had nothing to do. He only really passed it, threw it out, kicked it. But my God, today, one massive save from Sakala in the second half at a vital time in the game where we really needed to stay ahead. We knew that a draw would have been a good result for us today. In that period in the game, we were really deep. We did a lot of defending in the second half, some really good defending. But when we needed the goalkeeper to come up big for us, he did that. It's a 9 for Joe Hart. That is the save we need him to make. And how vital will that be looking back at the end of the season? The back four, we'll start with Joranovic. Obviously got done for the goal. Kent on the outside of him, ball down the inside. Uncharacteristic almost, considering his recent performances and how well he did up against Kent the last game. We'll go a 7 for Joranovic because I think he did eventually settle in the game. He had a really nervy start, as the whole team did, to be fair. But he grew in it. And it wasn't a bad performance. It's a 7 for him. Centre halves, oh my God, the two of them were absolutely tremendous. As I say, in that second half, so much defending to do. We had to defend our box, clear the crosses, a lot of crosses for Rangers, not too many clear-cut chances, but they were both so strong, and they have been so strong all season. It's a 10 for Carter Vickers. He gets the winning goal. He gets the sponsor man of the match. Absolutely outstanding. He's been a rock. And you just have such confidence in this Celtic team defending now. Think about back at the start of the season, the doubts there was about the defence, and even halfway through the season, still from the mainstream press, like conjecture about how bad the defence is and how much we need to improve it and how much a weakness that is for us. The defence is brilliant, and you've seen that today. The second half was rearguard action for much of it, but we dealt with it really well. 10 for Carter Vickers, 10 for Starfelt. I know we can see the goal today, but I don't think either of them were really at fault too much for it. It came down the right-hand side, and I thought Starfelt as well in the second half was absolutely terrific. There's a few shaky moments in the ball from Hart, Starfelt, even Carter Vickers in the first half, but over the piece, they were absolutely brilliant. To go away to Ibrox, go behind, weather that storm, come back into the game, and then defend like we did in the second half. I need to give them 10s. They were absolutely brilliant. Left back, Greg Taylor, very good performance for Greg Taylor. A solid 8. I thought he was really good. He had that one where he was in the wrong position for the ball to Aribo in the first half, but he got back in. Good covering, defending in the end, and then he had that vital tackle on Van Kent in the second half. Those are the two standout moments for Taylor. Really good performance, and all credit to him because these two performances in the last couple of derbies now have been up there with Greg Taylor's best performances in a Celtic jersey. He was really good today, Greg Taylor. In the midfield, Callum McGregor gets a 9. Dragged us back into the game at a time where we hadn't found our rhythm yet. We'd barely got a foot on the ball, and he makes a drive and run down the right-hand side, gets across into the box, and from that, Tom Rogic gets the equaliser. That was massive for us. It was really brave at that time in the game because nobody in a Celtic shirt was really calm on the ball. Nobody was taking the brave decisions, but McGregor did that. He drove forward with it, and we got a goal out it, and I thought all day he stood up and was counted in that midfield, so it's a 9 for the captain. Hatate alongside him struggled again in that first sort of 5 minutes of the game where we had to weather that early storm for Rangers. Hatate struggled to get to the pace. I think he did settle as the half went on, but then wasn't far into the second half where he was absolutely out on his feet. It looked like he was running in quicksand. I don't know if that's still as a result of coming off that season in Japan and said after the last derby that he's still not where he needs to be with his fitness. That's maybe still not the case because he's played a lot of football. He's come straight here. We play at a real high intensity, and he did tire, so it's a 7 for Hatate. But alongside him, Tom Rogic started. I thought Matt O'Reilly might get the nod. Tom Rogic was the best player in the park in the first half. He gets a 9. He was a constant threat. He kept finding those pockets of space. Some lovely passes. So calm for the goal as well. Could have snatched at it. Could have just hit it straight at McGregor or over the bar. But a lovely controlled finish. on the bounce, catches it on the bounce, smashed it into the roof of the net. Brilliant. But he was a real threat, and Rangers couldn't live with him in that first half. A brilliant performance. If he'd played a bit longer, could have got a 10, could have got man of the match. He was really, really good, Tom Rogic. Brilliant. Jota on the right-hand side, as I thought he might be. A 9 for Jota. I thought he was a real threat. Dribbling ability, protecting the ball. Really, really good today. Had to do a wee bit of tracking back at times as well. But I thought he was a real danger. He's always a danger. Every time Jota gets on the ball, it feels like something might happen. He has a few great crosses today. One tantalising cross in the first half that if Golson doesn't get there, it looks for all the world like Giakoumakis is going to head it in. So he was really good. It's a 9 for Jota. And on the left-hand side, Dyson Maeda. That man has 3 lungs. I don't know where he gets the energy. I don't know how he covers the ground that he covers, but also at the pace, his intensity, pressing the ball when we haven't got possession. It was vital for us today. He was in the faces of Tavernier. He never let them rest. Really, really good. Could have had a penalty in the first half as well. I know the commentary team kind of brushed by that, but he kind of hits the ball by McGregor with his left foot, and then McGregor kicks his standing leg. When is a foul? No foul. But he was brilliant today, Maeda. He's been such a key signing for us because you think about going towards that January transfer window, we were really lacking options up front. Kyogo's fitness, obviously got injured on Boxing Day, Kyogo. But other than him, Giakoumakis wasn't quite where he is now back then. So he was a key signing for us. He's been brilliant. Took a wee bit to grow in, if you like, in the first few games. But he's so important to how we play. The intensity, as I say, every week, the intensity is so vital for us. He was brilliant. He gets a 9. And leading the line, it was Giakoumakis. Kyogo not even in the squad. That was a surprise. And again, a good thing for us because we've got him to come back still. Not even in the squad today. So the next couple of weeks, St Johnstone game, the semi-final, Kyogo should be back involved for that, and that makes us stronger. But Giakoumakis today ran himself into the ground. Really put himself about. Covered a lot of ground. He was knackered at the end. Absolutely dead in his feet. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for players to go out there in that fixture, give their all, leave everything on the pitch, and he did that. He was a nuisance. He did win his fouls when he had to. I thought there was a couple of times where balls were sort of wrapped into him and his touch could have been a bit better. But listen, it's a great performance from him. A really, really good performance. A solid 8. Could have been a 9. A lot of subs today. A lot of subs. O'Reilly obviously came on. We're not doing O'Reilly because he was on for 10 minutes and had to come off after that tackle from Aribo. I think he got the ball, but he did he got O'Reilly's ankle as well, and he couldn't continue after that. Ralston replaced Taylor. I thought he done well. Anthony Ralston, he was part of that back four that defended everything that they had to in the final 15 minutes. So Ralston's a 7. Beaton showed up for us in midfield. He got his foot in the ball at times when he needed it in that second half. It's a 7.5 for Near Beaton. Abada came on, had 2 great chances. The first one, the touch gets away from him. The second one, I think he should try and take a first touch. But to be fair to McGregor, it's a good save. 6 for Abada. And Turnbull didn't have a great deal to do in the game. A few passes out wide. 6 for Turnbull as well. But listen, it's not really about individual player ratings today. It's about the performance of the whole Celtic team to go to Ibrox, to go behind 2 minutes in, but come back, start controlling the game and go on and win it, and then defend like we did in the second half. I cannot speak highly enough of the players and of the manager. The manager gets a 10 for me today. He's got a 10 all season. The turnaround in this team is remarkable. We're 6 points clear with 7 games to play. And if you'd have told anybody that in September, they would not have believed you. The manager is working miracles, and this is just the start of what he's doing here. I hope the club can get him on a longer term contract as soon as possible. But aside for that, we've got to just keep charging ahead. A real chance now, a real great opportunity to possibly win a treble. Some big games coming up, but what a position we find ourselves in, and that's credit to the players and to the manager. That's it for player ratings. Like this video, comment with your own thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. 6 points clear.